Johnny It's right there. All right, so look. The question is today, I can move this out here. I can move you out the way, girl. Let's put you over here. All right, do this. When do you know you ready for a 6? That's the question. When do you know? When am I ready for a 6? All right. First of all, your buddies can't make you be ready for no 6. First mistake you can make is listening to your buddies. All right, they will tell you whether you're ready for a 6 or not. No, you would know whether you're ready for a 6 or not. 6 is a very unique instrument. What makes it so unique is it's a full range. All right, you don't just jump on a 6 and expect it to comply. Woo! There's a word, boy, that we hear a lot. Comply. It's meant to teach. All right. A lot of people don't get that part. A 6 string is meant to teach. A lot of people get one and they think it's for brilliancy. And this is only my opinion. Brilliancy. What is brilliancy? Well, I can go out and make the song 20 times better than what it was. Okay, that's not brilliancy. That's just you inventing. All right. Let me turn this down first of all. We're looking when you have a 6 in your hand. Normally, players who play 6s are pretty much band leaders. They're leaders. And not all 6-string players are band leaders. I'm just throwing it out there. Like when I think of 6-string players, I think of Andrew Goucher. He's a total band leader. I mean, that's what he is. And 6s are something that a lot of people just can't handle, but think they can. I normally play 6s rarely. When I play a 6, it's because on my gigs or the gig I'm going to, it's going to be settled. It's not going to be a lot of thumping going on. It's not going to be a lot of passive note tones going on. It's just going to be, it's going to be a settled thing where, you don't have to, where a whole lot of running is going on. I normally use 6s for pretty songs. Pretty songs. Songs that moves beautifully, where you can actually go from pretty runs. Not a lot of them, but just pretty runs. Whether it be R&B, whether it be and you don't want to get too far out there with a 6 because it causes confusion too. It's a beautiful instrument if you learn it. The issue that I'm having with a lot of 6-string players is they are sitting in their house and they're doing amazing things with their 6-string bass. Amazing things, and I ain't mad at them. But then I look for those same players in bands and see how they react with other instruments around them. And a lot of the times, it's not pretty. Because they keep forgetting this. They keep forgetting that because they're so busy. They're so busy doing that, which is jumping into somebody else's office, which would be basically a guitar player, keyboard player, and horns. So I love hearing bass players that actually sit down and learn their instrument. There's nothing like a bass player that sits down and learn a six-string bass, or seven, or eight, and learn and play real notes, not chords, but notes with a band. Unless you're a band leader and that band is your band, and you're doing lines that you wrote. I'll say this: you wrote the song, all right. And there is some places in the song where you have to play a bass line, and you play it, but you don't play it like you still playing horn lines. It's like you're not playing bass anymore. You're playing everybody else's stuff, and that's what it sounds like. There's nothing there solid where I can go, oh, kind of thing. So, you know, I'm only talking about experiences I had, with six-string bass. I love six-string bass. But I'm a four-string player, y'all know that. I'm a five-string player, y'all know that. I'm a 4, 5, and 6-string player. I'm mostly 4. But when it comes to sixes, I normally take it to gigs where, the night is loving. Doesn't make any sense. The songs are loving songs and smooth songs, and where I can interject just a little bit to let you know that song is even more prettier. Not the whole night doing this. That's not beautiful to me. That's just not good. Look, I could say bad. No, I can't say bad. It's just not good. It takes away from the other band members. It doesn't add anything to the song. It takes away. But then there's bass players like John Petitucci, who, his whole thing is bass, is six-string bass. Man, I love his stuff. But his stuff is what we call organized. That's the word I want to use. When you start playing organized bass, not I feel this bass. When you start playing I feel this bass, you have already forgot about your band, because you're now experimenting on stuff that's in your head, and by the time it leaves your head to get to your hand, something else is right behind that, and you're now in a state of confusion. Next state you will be in is train wreck. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I love six-string basses. Don't y'all get me wrong with that. I love six-string basses. They do a lot of things. You got a lot of area to cover with the six-string bass. And even with the six in my hand, I have to sit back and take a step back and go, okay, you can't do all this. And I'm a leader of a band. So I have to let you guys know that when I hear a six-string player, I am overwhelmed when he's playing organized. And it's not particularly organized. It's when he's really playing with the band and not playing by himself. You can sit here and play 1,000 chords, but if it doesn't match your band or the music you're playing, you're just out there by yourself, letting everybody see that you know all these chords and you can do all this fingering stuff. And to me, it's like it takes away from the band. And you could have some of the most amazing, massive players in the world in the band, but you get up there with a six and you start clowning. That's the only way I can say it is clowning. You're not even playing. You're just clowning. You're letting people know I can do this. Watch this. That's clowning to me. That's not respecting the song or your players. So guys, six-string players, when I talk to you guys, I'm talking the things that happened to me. When I first started getting into the six-string play, my first six-string bass was a Yamaha TRB. That was my first six string, and I got that from Andrew Goucher. I got that bass from Andrew Goucher, and I jumped on it without learning it, and got my feelings hurt. I actually almost got destroyed from a six string bass. You know, it was a painful moment for me because I wasn't ready. Although I saw him playing it and he was killing it, I wasn't ready, and I should have stayed home and practice on that bass and practice and learn what to not to do with that bass at certain times and learn what to do with that bass at certain times. And I think that's what's happening with when I look at some of the YouTube things. The guys are out there. They're either in their house, like I said at the beginning of the tape, they're in their house and they're learning amazing, beautiful stuff. And they're learning it all on a six string. But when you put them with a band, they are the most distracting thing in the band because they haven't learned how to calm all this stuff down and put it into one note. So the band can actually have a breathing time. They're either doing too much of one thing or not enough of another, and not enough bass notes. You know, not enough solid bass notes where actually the band can move from different one section to the other. So this is what, you know, laid upon my heart today. I wanted to say that. And a lot of people are not going to, you know, particularly go for that. You know, that's cool. I get it. You don't want to go for it. I get it. You know, you're a six string player and you've been doing it all for 50 years and you got this gig and that gig. And well, ain't nobody got that gig and this gig now because people are trying to get back into playing again. And some of the, you know, super players are not even playing. So this is a time where you can take your six string and you can go home and learn how to play bass all over again. You know, it's nice. Once again, man, it's always nice to play all this stuff. And you know what's so funny though? This gonna really freak a lot of people out. When I first started playing, and I saw cats doing this on their sixes and stuff. When I started seeing that, I was like, I used to get mad. Now check this out. I was getting mad because I couldn't do that. So I'm like, why do you always got to show off and do stuff like that? I can't even do that stuff. You know, in your mind you're saying, I can't do this, so I need to get mad. Instead of saying, maybe I should sit down and try to learn some of that stuff. You know, but that doesn't mean you learn it and get on a gig and start doing that stuff. That doesn't mean you have to get on the gig and do that stuff. You've been playing serious grooves all your life, and now you got a six string in your hand, and now you want to experiment while the band is playing, and you're just taken away from the band because you don't really know what you're doing, and you're interjecting things that don't even fit. In your mind, everything fits. Look, in your mind, everything fits. O'Teal is another. I wanted to say this. O'Teal is another great bass player that knows what to do with the six. And these guys played in bands, so by them playing in bands, they know there are certain times they have to play bass notes, you know, solid bass notes. And I think for my beginners, I want you guys, if you're looking at this video, please know that nobody said you can't play a six. Nobody said you can't play a five. The problem that I want you to understand is just because you got those many strings doesn't mean you got to hit them all times. It's like a keyboard player that's got a new keyboard and a guitar, or what do you want to call it, and solo through the whole song. Instead of picking and choosing different spots, they solo through the whole song. That is a nightmare. It's just a straight nightmare. So guys, you know, this was laid upon my heart, and I wanted people to actually know what was on my heart, so I'm going to say it. Once again, I want to thank you for coming by checking out my videos. I want to thank you for praying for my queen and I in my home in the Hobo Depot. We pray for y'all every morning, bright and early. A lot of times before a lot of you even get up, and while a lot of you are coming home from work or wherever you're coming from. We're definitely praying for your safety. There are a lot of people out there sick again. I keep saying this. Please wear your mask. And please subscribe. Please share. Please push that button, a like. And please tell other folks. Pray for your enemies too. Now, before I leave, I'm coming through and I forgot to do this at the beginning. This is my Phil Jones combo, And this is my Elric. This is an Elric base. A lot of people are like, what is the kind of base is that? This is a real Elric. Elric. I said Eric. This is a real Elric base that I customized myself. Gold hardware with an all-deer custom preamp in it. It has Ken Armstrong pickups in it. It's trimmed in gold, and you can see the Elric at the top. The color is what's amazing. If you can see it, you can see the flakes in the blue. This is absolutely beyond beautiful. I'm not going front. That's what this is, beyond beautiful. It is beautiful, and I'm glad it's beautiful. So once again, guys, Shatakaga! We out of here. I wonder where Hootie is. I haven't seen him. I've seen him all day. I haven't seen him in 2 days. Huh. Possible 3 days. Huh. Shatakaga.